Okay, let's flip this around. Yeah, I think we're live.
I don't see anything on here yet. Did you go live?
Yeah. Ain't got nothing yet?
Oh, okay.
I think we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah.
Let's see what are coming up on here.
There we go. Is this good?
Hey, there's Tish Ross. Hello, Tish.
Hey, Tish. How y'all doing over there?
Scott is live also, Rambling with the Browns. I don't know why it's not coming up on here.
I might have to refresh.
I did.
We're having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Nah, we're good. We're all good.
Once I have my glasses.
So,
all right, everybody. Welcome to the live. This is the humble abode. This is our ranch.
this is the ranch house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can y'all hear us and see us okay? Mom says Kevin looks goog.
Kevin looks goog.
Goog. G-O-O-G.
Oh, Kevin. They said Kevin. I was like, who's Kevin? No, this is some of my grandfather's kills up here behind us. Some of his trophies that we've held on to over the years. But, so I guess where you want to start?
We'll wait a minute for
Some people to get in
some
here.
people to jump in. Tish says yes. Audio and visual check.
I might be able to go on my iPad and watch the chat as well.
There's Butler Family Farms. Hey, how you doing, Jerry? James Hall, welcome in. How are y'all tonight? Thank you, Tish. She shared this out. Appreciate that.
Tish, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was on Justin's live, Backroads Freedom, and I told him about it, so he should be joining us just any time. Hello, Karen Brest. How are you? Back to good. Good evening. Welcome in. We are at the ranch, our family ranch house in Hamilton, Texas.
Okay, there we go.
Opening day of deer season, gun season is tomorrow, 30 minutes after sunrise. So we will both be in our respective blinds, and wish us luck. Keep your fingers crossed. Because we've been scouting, we've been feeding, we've been working our tails off this year to get ready for the season. And Tristen has had some phenomenal bucks on his camera.
Oh yeah.
And he's got a target buck that he's after, and hopefully he'll show up in the morning.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, see what happens. Y'all's doesn't open until the 11th there in Missouri, huh, Jerry?
Huh. That's cool.
But how late does y'all's go?
Ours goes to what, like February 7th?
No, January.
I mean January 7th?
January 7th, I believe.
Yeah. So basically like hunting strategy. So for the we started feeding protein about 3 years ago. We got a protein feeder, we have corn, we have spinner feeders. Our feeders go off, mine goes off, well with the time change, it'll be going off at 6:30 and 3:30 in the afternoon. So it's like
6:30 in the morning, and what did you change it to? 2:30?
Well, I had it at 7:30 and 4:30. So when it goes back an hour, it should be at 3:30.
6:30 and
6:30 and 3:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think sunrise is right at about like what 6:15.
I think
6:20.
it's like 6:38.
Oh, so it'll be right after sunrise.
Yeah, so,
Or right before.
but shooting light is 30 minutes before sunrise and 30 minutes after sunset.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, this is Tristan's first live on his channel, so y'all like and subscribe and leave us a comment.
For sure.
And, appreciate y'all coming in. Hey, Sean with Let's Trade Paint.
How did he go as far from the mic?
Can you move that closer?
Yeah.
Yeah, move that a little bit closer.
Let me see here.
He's gonna move that camera a little bit closer to see if y'all can hear us better. So how's that? If we talk normal, how's that? Can you hear us okay? Thank you, James Hall. He says he's already subscribed.
Thank you, thank you. I wish I could zoom out on this thing. Or maybe I should flip the camera. I don't know.
That is better. Jerry says that is better.
That is better? Okay, cool. Well, we're a little closer now. Bring it in for the love.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know how many hunters I have in here, but as far as the way we do down here, we're in Texas, so we feed. We have the protein feeders, the corn feeders, what we were talking about with the time. As far as my dad has a tree-mounted protein feeder that he's been having some dough and a little bit of success. I had one of my cameras mounted right above his feeder, that protein feeder, for I don't know, about a couple weeks, week and a half, and there was some dough coming to it. I saw one 8-point actually. I remember I sent you that screenshot when that one little 8-point came in.
Mm-hmm.
But mine, I have a Moultrie. What?
Mom said, "Look at my handsome guys."
Oh Lord. I have a Moultrie. I think it's a 325-pound feeder with the tri outlets. So it's got 3 cones that go in opposite directions, so the deer can get in there and eat the protein. We use, what do we even use? Record Rack.
Record Rack.
It's the berry blend.
Yeah, only because we haven't been able to get the regular.
The golden nuggets.
Oh no, I remember now. It was because the golden nuggets wouldn't go through the spinners because the nuggets were too big. They would jam up.
Yeah,
so
and
we went to the pellets, which is the berry flavor. Which that's fine. They're eating it like crazy.
Yeah, I've got regular pictures of. So basically, this year we have about 4 bucks that I would consider shooters for us to go after. As far as legal deer, there's about 6 or 7 to shoot. And if you don't know, a legal buck, it has to be greater spread on the inside. So that means, say these are my antlers, it would be from this point to this point. It has to be 13 inches
13
or bigger.
inches has to be outside the ears.
Right. So like if they're looking at you and their ears are out, like looking, facing you, it has to be outside the tips of their ears. There's 2 in particular that are my biggest shooters. One is going to be a buck that I have had on camera for the last 3 years. And his name is Skyscraper, and I do name my deer.
Let's say hello to a few people first.
Yeah, for sure.
There's Tony and Angie from Our Cabin in the Woods.
Hey, Tony.
Welcome in. And
Angie.
Justin from Backroads Freedom. I was just on his live.
Hey, thanks for the shout out.
Yeah, appreciate that.
For sure.
Let's see. Evelyn Newman is in. Did I already say her?
I don't think so. Hey, Evelyn. Thank all y'all for joining. I appreciate the love.
Yeah, this is Tristan's first love. First love.
First love. You're my first love, I tell you what.
His first live, y'all. So show him some love.
Hopefully, so this is going to be a tradition for me and my dad that we're going to start doing. We're planning on doing a live opening weekend of every year because this is our tradition that we do. We come down here. I actually got to take off work Monday and Tuesday this year. So we're going to be down here for 4 days. There's going to be a lot of content that's going to be coming out of this. Hopefully, we're going to get some good in the blind content. My phone is currently on my tripod, which I'm going to set up in my blind tomorrow morning and hopefully get some good action for y'all. Dad's also going to film as well.
Up as well, yeah.
So hopefully we get some cool videos, even if we don't tag out necessarily. We'll get some fun videos of some deer movement. I have, I think 3-4 days ago, I had about 11 doe at my feeder at like 7:45 in the morning. It's crazy. We have a lot of doe this year. We got to do some thinning of the population, some meat control.
So it's called filling the freezers, y'all.
Yes. And if those of you who haven't had venison, it is amazing.
There's no fat to speak of in venison. It's
Yeah.
all protein, and it's very heart healthy for you. Even if you chicken fry it, it's still better than beef for you, heart wise. But the back straps and the tenderloins, oh man, that's what I look forward to. Now I always get, whenever I get a deer, I always get probably at least a third of it made into summer sausage. But I go with the cheese and jalapeno summer sausage, and man, on a Ritz cracker, everything's better when it sits on a Ritz. Who remembers that?
Sorry, I'm kind of distracted here, guys. I'm trying to find these pictures. So who wants to see some pictures of the bucks that we're going after? So this is Skyscraper. This is the one that I've had not going after for 3 years, but I've had him on camera for 3 years. Last year he was a big 9. This year he blew up into a decent 11. I would say he's somewhere, if you hunt or if you know anything about scoring deer, it's basically the total measurement of all the lengths of the antlers, the widths in between the antlers, and then what? I think that's about it.
Yeah. From the base to the tip.
Right. I'm assuming this deer is probably like 120 to 130, somewhere in there. It's a good deer for down here.
Yeah.
But this is Skyscraper. I don't know how well you guys can see him.
Hold on 1 second. It's a little behind.
Might be a little.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Skyscraper. He's one of the #1 hit listers. He's a nice one that we're looking forward to. Hopefully we'll get a shot at him. But this buck, which is a big 8, big typical mainframe 8, I had never had on camera before, and he showed up out of nowhere. Well, actually, first let me show you guys swoops. This is another.
And y'all got to understand too that Hamilton County is not known for its big bucks.
No.
And the very first buck I killed was an 8-point down here, which was I want to say 20 years ago. I thought it was huge at the time, but compared to the ones we're seeing now, I mean, it's nothing. It's a yearling compared to these.
Yeah.
These guys have got some nice racks. Now they're not Colorado mule deer by any means, but for down here,
Iowa deer, nothing.
Yeah.
But down here, they're big.
They're decent deer.
So this is one that we call swoops, just because the way his antlers are shaped, they kind of go up and curve up. I make funny names for most of these deer. Don't judge me. It's just the way that I remember them.
He had one last year called Nike because he had a swoop antler.
Yeah, he had one that looked just like a Nike symbol. I was like, yeah, that's Nike. So this one, he's a good 10-point, typical 10. He's got the cool crab claws on the end. He's definitely in the shooter range. Hopefully we'll get a chance at him. And then my new #1, which is like I was saying a second ago, I've never seen this buck before. He just showed up sometime last week, like I think 3-4 days ago, this past week.
There's Josh from Sherman Family Farms. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh. I know this part might be boring if y'all don't want to see pictures of deer, but I'm just going to show them in case you want to.
So y'all did get to eat that hamburger meat from Pinecone Fest. That's good, Sean. I'm glad it didn't go to waste. Was it all still good?
Was there a bunch of hamburger meat left over?
Oh yeah, we got 50 pounds of hamburger meat, and there was about 25 pounds left over.
Dang!
So we kind of overshot that a little bit.
That's
But
all right.
I'm glad it didn't go to waste. Sean and them took it home and did what they did with it.
There we go. So this is that other 8-point that's been showing up. I think he's a little taller and maybe a little thicker than Skyscraper, but if he walked out, I would not be opposed to putting my tag on this one at all.
Josh says, we don't mind the pictures either, but we are here for support no matter what. Go up just a little bit with that one. There you go. Yeah. Now that's all those deer that he's shown you have been coming regular to his feeder. We have through the years, probably the last 6 or 7 years since we've been doing cell cameras.
Mm-hmm.
We've done basically trial and error. We've been through many brands.
Well, we started with Spy Point.
Yeah, and I'm not going to bash any names on here because they're all good companies. But
this is just our experience.
Yeah, our experiences.
We started with Spy Point. Spy Point lasted probably about a season and a half.
Yeah.
And then mine ended up getting corroded on the inside from water damage. So I guess it just didn't have a good seal, and Dad stopped sending pictures. So from that, we both moved on. I got me and him for Father's Day one year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. The Moultrie Mobiles, which we had good success with Moultrie for, again, about a season and a half.
And during that time, I also had a Bushnell, which took great pictures. Didn't take a lot of pictures. Didn't take some key pictures, I thought. It would send good video, but then I put the Moultrie up, and so I was having 2 different cameras at 2 different angles, and I liked that because when one wouldn't take a picture, the other one would. So it worked out okay, but just this last year, when we started,
it was about right at the end of summer, so probably September, like August.
Yeah, September.
Right. Well, I think we started coming down and filling again. We try to fill year round, but during the summer months, it gets a little hard. So usually we'll kind of give it a break from like February to August, and then this year we picked up and started feeding again in August. And about that time was whenever I bit the bullet and went expensive, and I went to Tacticam.
But really not that much more expensive.
No, they're not that much. But I mean, I think the Moultries are like $89.99. The Tacticams are what,
150.
150.
Yeah.
So I mean, but honestly, you get what you pay for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have both been extremely happy with our Tacticams. I mean, he told me because he had his first, and then I got one later.
Speaking of that, I got something at the feeder right now.
And he told me, he said, once you get this thing up, he said, get ready because it sends you pictures every movement, and it does. I mean, it'll go 30 seconds and send another picture.
Not even like 10. Like, just to show you how sensitive this is right now, it just sent me a picture. And it's just, all it is a little rabbit right next to the leg of my feeder. But that's how sensitive it is that it'll pick up a little rabbit just moving around.
Yeah.
So
I didn't realize we had so many rabbits down here until I got the Tacticam.
Yeah. It'll take pictures of rabbits all night.
Yeah. Rabbits, raccoons. I've even got a possum coming to mind.
Yep.
But here lately, I've had some good pictures of one of the bucks that he showed you.
The Big 8, yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's the Big 8.
I think the Big 8's coming to his.
So,
but he was at your feeder what, like 4:30 this morning?
No, 5:30 this morning, and he hung around till almost 7:30.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he hung around there for a couple of hours, which I really like, because most of the time, especially during the beginning of the rut, they get in and get out. You know, they'll get a little something to munch on, and they'll take off. But this guy's been hanging around, so we'll see what happens in the morning.
Yeah, I think right after he left yours, he came to mine. Because I think he was at mine around like 8:15.
Yeah, Thunderstick Homestead said that he and his dad, he and Pops, went to Tacticam, and he said if he doesn't turn his phone off, like you said, he gets dings 24/7. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sure.
My girl. I don't know if my fiance and my child are watching. They may or may not be, but she hates it because I have my iPad. This is my work iPad, but I have it sitting next to my bedstand at night, and I have it charging. Well, she's a pretty sensitive sleeper, and I can sleep through a tornado. And so she's, unless I remember to face it down, face down, it'll just be showing light all night. Ding, ding, ding. She'll get mad at me.
Lila says, hope your sub count goes up tonight, hun. I've been out there drumming up subs for you.
Oh, thank you, Lila.
Hi, Lila. Thank you. We appreciate that.
So yeah, as far as the rut, if you don't know, if you don't deer hunt, the rut is basically the period of time when the male deer are in breeding season for the female, or the female deer.
The females come into season.
Yeah, females come into season, and it triggers the males to then.
But I learned something.
What?
It's not based on the weather. It's not based on the moon phase, which is what I thought for years and years. It's based on the length of daylight hours in the day.
Yeah.
So right now our time's fixing to change, so that means the rut has started because the days are getting longer. We're getting more sunlight.
Well, the days are getting shorter.
I mean shorter.
Getting
So they're taking advantage of the daylight hours.
Well, also you'll have a lot of them become nocturnal as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the bad part when they come on and become nocturnal.
So funny story, guys. I was actually here by myself. So it was 2 weeks ago now, I think. There was a cold front that came in.
Oh yeah.
Anybody that lives in Texas, a couple weeks ago, that cold front that rolled in right over the weekend, and I couldn't miss the opportunity. So I came down solo. It was my first time ever hunting by myself or staying the night here by myself. I came down and I was convinced, and the kicker is I was right, but we'll get to that. I was convinced that I was going to get a shot at Skyscraper. Again, this other big 8 hadn't showed up yet. Skyscraper was my main hit list. So I was convinced that he was like, cold front's coming in. I had this deer pretty scheduled out. Like whenever there's a cold front, he'll come in pretty quick to eat, or if he hasn't been around, he'll take like 3 or 4 days off and then he'll show back up. It's his normal schedule. So I knew this cold front was coming in, so I shot down here as quick as I could, and I hunted all day Sunday. I had a great hunt. I got some videos that I'll make a video out of a couple of 8 points at my feeder with some does. And during this time of the year, we generally do all-day sits just because the rut is so unpredictable. The movement of the bucks is unpredictable. So we like to stay in the stand for as long as we can. That day I hunted, I think I was in the stand about 5:30, and I got out at about 12, I got out about 11. Ate lunch, and I was back in the stand by like 12:30. Went through the rest of that evening, didn't see them, and then I take a picture. There's 2 does. I think there's like 15 minutes of daylight left. There's 2 does in my feeder, and I'm texting my fiance, and I sent her a picture, and I was like, yeah, I'm just waiting for these deer to head out. I don't want to bump them or anything. I'm going to get down, and then I'll be at the house. But sure enough, as soon as I sent that picture and sent that text message, here comes Skyscraper walking up the far side of the field. I said, oh snap, that's him. That was the first time I laid eyes on him. And this is during archery season, so this was my first year trying to hunt with a bow, which is the bow that my dad gave me. It's a bear. It's one of the original bears. It's a 70-pound bear cruiser. I got it cranked up to 65-pound draw, and it's a good bow. I mean, me and my buddy Cameron, when we were here opening weekend of archery in October, we were sitting on the front porch pinging our target from about 50 yards. So it's not that I'm not capable. I think I had a little bit of buck fever. Anyway, so he came in cruising. I got sidetracked. He came in cruising.
Squirrel.
Yeah, that's my ADHD. Came in cruising and then came right to the edge. So where my bow stand is, I have two different stands that I hunt out of. So say this is my feeders right here inside the pen. My bow stand is like 25 yards away. It's a 16-foot tower blind. It's called the Buck Hut. It's a 2-person archery stand that's canvassed. It's covered in a canvas material.
If y'all will go to my channel, Heard That Outdoors, I have a video on there of us putting that thing together.
Yeah, they got it for me for Christmas.
All day long.
It was a fun one. But
hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Lila, yes, if you want to be a moderator, more than welcome to.
For sure.
I can't do it from here.
I don't know what
I'm not sure if Tristen has to do it from his phone. Can you do it on your end? I don't know.
I might have to push a
on
button.
yours, there's 3 dots.
3 dots?
Yep. If you touch that.
I don't even see these comments on here. No, that's all right. Oh wait, here, 3 dots? I think I see 3 dots. 3 dots? Okay.
to say anything about moderator?
No. It's okay. I'll figure out how to do that after.
Yeah.
And just select the people.
Yeah. Like I said, this is his first live.
My first time,
I'm
guys.
not that up on all that information, so
I will learn how to do it though and do it after. So, anyway, my buck hut is like 25 yards away from my feeder, and it's elevated, so I'm in a good position to see everything. So he comes walking in. He comes right to the edge of the barbed wire before you get into the feeder pin, and he's got his head, or he's walking in, and as soon as he put his head down, I go to draw my bow back. Well, those two doe are still sitting inside the feeder area, and they're eating. As soon as I drew my bow back, I believe I was looking at him. I wasn't looking at them. I think one of them saw me draw, and that made one of them jump out and run, which made the other doe kind of walk around the other side of the feeders and freeze. And they were just looking at where the one doe that ran away saw the movement, which also made Skyscraper walk about 10, 15 steps back from where he was. And so I'm holding it full draw, and I try to move to go aim at him, which he saw the movement as soon as I moved, and he took off and ran around the side of, there's trees to my left. He ran around the side and it was the doe in front of him, and then he was right behind the doe. And it was one of my side windows. And so I'm kind of like trying to make it work. Obviously it didn't work, and I tried to shoot, went about 10 feet over his back and hit the dirt, and then he took off. So I thought that was the end of that.
Okay, so Justin said, who you want to make a moderator, there's 3 dots next to their comment. So look at Lila Newton. You'll have to do it on your phone.
I gotta do it on the phone?
Yeah. Look at Lila Newton's last comment, and there should be 3 dots out next to her comment.
Oh, okay. Add as a moderator.
There you go.
I did it.
There you go, Lila. You should have your blue wrench now.
I think I did it. Pretty sure.
There you go. Yep, you did it. See,
Look at
Lila's got a
there.
blue wrench, so she's a moderator now.
Thank you, Lyle.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, Justin. Appreciate it. So yeah, that was the failure story on Skyscraper.
Hey, that's all right. I mean,
It happens.
that's why we call it hunting.
Yeah. And that night, I ended up calling him. I called my taxidermist because he's a pretty big hunter. I just got some advice on if I should go back in the next morning and try to hunt again, or just pull out. I ended up pulling out and being safe. I didn't know how bad I bumped him or spooked him. And turns out he was back in my feeder 2 days later.
Yeah.
And he's been back multiple times since. So I think I'm good. I'm in the clear. He's still in the area. Just hoping he walks out tomorrow and I get a shot at him.
Bowen from Thunderstick says we've all been there, Tristan.
Yeah.
If
It
you
was
bow
rough.
hunt, you have definitely been there.
It was rough.
I hunted this year, my first year with a crossbow. Never hunted with a crossbow before. I've always, like you said, he's hunting with my bow that I gave him. I'm still kind of course, I didn't get to shoot anything. I almost shot a squirrel that got on my nerves like crazy, but have not shot anything or at anything other than targets with my crossbow. I think I need a lot more practice. Just getting used to it, because I mean I'm not. A lot of my strength is gone in my older age. I don't have the strength I used to, and pulling that thing up just to cock it, that's a workout, y'all. I mean, if you've never done it, it's brutal. It was for me anyway. So they actually had to lessen the poundage on it so I can pull it up.
No, I shortened the strings. We turned it down a little bit,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the,
turn it down.
there's
just a little bit.
like handles that you use that go around the top of it, and that's how you pull it up.
Yeah.
And like I just shortened them. It made it a little easier.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. We did shorten the
draw. You call it draw
cocking string.
Cocking string.
Yeah, they do make one with a crank, James, and I've thought about doing that. Do those make a lot of noise? I mean, when you crank it, do they?
Well, you ain't gonna crank it while you're in the stand.
Well, if you have to do a follow-up shot, you might.
Yeah, that's true.
Thunderstick said I made a bad shot on a drop tine buck because all I could see was his rack.
Oh, that
Beat
hurts my
myself
heart.
up for days. We did find it, and I do have a skull mount, but I still feel bad. I'm telling you, man, everybody's got stories about hunting, and
Hey, it's all right. Where? Go ahead.
oh, I was just
Sorry.
going to say the first buck I ever took a shot at, I was about 8 years old, and I was hunting with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And he drew me a picture, and I thought it was the coolest thing, y'all. He ejected a bullet out of my 30-30, and of course, you know, bullets have a lead tip. He had a piece of paper in his pocket, so he got that piece of paper out, and he drew a deer on this piece of paper with the bullet. I thought that was the coolest thing ever, man. I mean, I was happy with that, you know. But he showed me on that piece of paper where to shoot the buck, and I could have sworn, of course, you know, it's almost 60 years ago, 57 years ago that I'm pulling this out of my memories, but I could have sworn he drew an X on his back to break his back. I had it in my mind that that's where I needed to shoot. I don't know why. So that's where I shot. Of course, I missed. It went right over him. He was so upset with me because it was would have been an easy shot if I'd have aimed in the right place. But you know, that's where we get our hunting stories, is from, you know, things like that. But yeah, I've got so many stories hunting with my dad. It's unreal.
When I was a kid, so where I hunt at, our land kind of looks like a Dorito chip on the map, like a weirdly shaped Dorito chip, if you think about it.
Hi, Christine, Miss Gillum Farms. She got a nice buck. I'll show you after this is over with.
Oh, yeah, I've checked it
on
out.
Facebook. It's nice. Congratulations.
Congratulations for sure.
That is a beautiful deer.
So Dad hunts we have like an elevated part of our land, and we have like, I guess, I wouldn't say like the bottoms, but it's like the same height when you drive in here. The top side is just tall.
Yeah, it is. That's why we call it the top side, because
Yeah.
you elevate.
Probably like what, 200 feet?
I would say
200 feet?
200 to 300 feet.
Yeah. It goes up there pretty high.
It's a slow incline, but it's a long ways up.
Yeah. So Dad hunts down. You've been hunting the same spot for what, like 20 years?
Yeah. Well, yeah, 20 plus.
20 plus.
Yeah.
And so I always hunted. So Dad had his spot, and then I had one maybe 200 yards away, in another little thicket of woods, which was one of his old spots that he just let me have when I was a kid. We hunted those two spots until until 3 years ago. And then I had shot my first buck hunting out of his stand, which was an 8 that had broke off his main tine and then one of his G2s, so it was a big 6. And that next year, the location that I'm at now, the tree stand, there's a funny story with it, but the tree stand is the same tree stand I had hunted out of before as a kid. I'll tell you that story in a minute. But one of our other family members had an old feeder out there, and I was just thinking this year, I was like, man, I want to try a new area. You know, we've been hunting this same down lower area forever since I was a kid. So I threw a feeder up there, and let me tell you what, I guess it's just luck or the protein. I mean, I don't think it's luck, but like, I see way more buck traffic than anywhere else on the property. Like my dad gets, like I said, he had that one, he's got that big 8 showing up, which is good, but I've got 6, 7 shooters that show up pretty regularly. My another family member's got a feeder kind of in the other corner of our property, and it's weird, like, what are we on, like a little over 120 acres here, and we're all kind of like in different corners, but we all don't see the same bucks necessarily.
Right.
So it's kind of funny, like they travel from different areas, but like some don't go down low and some don't come up high.
If you have ever looked at any of my videos or lives or anything that we've ever done from my office, if you see that Texas state, it's got all my bucks that I've taken from this place in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
3 years ago, I shot a nice 10 point, and boy, I hunted him hard. And I'm a real firm believer in the more work you put into a place, the more clearing that you do, the more feeding that you do, just the maintenance. I believe that the more work you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. One year, it was just me and my dad coming down here. Nobody else in the family at that time was hunting. And we had been coming down here religiously, feeding and clearing spots and just making everything right, making a good habitat for all the animals. I shot my first buck down here, and I got a turkey with an 11-inch beard that same year. So I believe that the more work you put into a place, the more you're going to get out of it.
And we're gonna start trying to do that this upcoming year. We believe that there's turkeys. I mean, there's still turkeys around. We think they're on like the neighboring property.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to see what we can do to bring those in here. I've never been turkey hunting, but Dad has been wanting me to go forever. So we're gonna try to see what strategies
spring turkey hunting.
What strategies we can bring in to try to get those turkey over here and get a shot at them. But yeah, I mean,
you have to. If anybody knows of a good way to draw turkey in from another location, let us know because we would love to. We had an abundance of turkey on here at one time, and then they all just disappeared. I don't know what happened.
Well, when I was like 15, whenever you still had the black Jeep that was jacked up on 40s. Remember we came down here, and as soon as we were pulling like towards your stand, there was like a flock of like 20 of them.
Yeah.
We were like, "What is going on?" I'd never seen turkey before. I was like a whole flock. I was like, "Dad, stop!"
I was hunting with my dad years ago. He used to be on a lease down in Sonora, Texas, which is right on I believe it's on no, it's not on the Rio Grande. The place was called the Dry Devil's River because it had the Devil's River run right through the middle of it, but it was for the most part dry. It would only be a river when it flooded. But we were bow hunting, and I was probably early 20s, and we were cruising. He was taking me to my stand because this is a 25,000 acre oil and gas lease that he had the luck to be on. But he was driving me to my stand one evening, and we saw a flock of turkey and just running by the side of the road. So he said, "Jump out and go get you one." So I jumped out, and of course I stalked it for probably 30 minutes, flock of turkey, drew back my bow, and I shot, and it whiffed it. And I was so bummed. And, I got back in the car, and I told him what happened, and he said, look at it this way. He said, how many people in Texas or in the world can say they got a shot at a turkey with a bow today? And so, it's all how you look at things.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's hunting is a good sport that I think brings people together.
Oh yeah.
And you get to. I mean, I love for my wife to come down here. Heard that. She's gonna get into hunting this year. So
My daughter is obsessed.
Oh yeah, she is. 4 years old. She's wanting to go shoot the pew pew.
She was crying this morning when I dropped her off at daycare because I had to tell her that Daddy was going hunting without her. So
I will, Tristen. I'd love to talk to Johnny about turkey. Maybe y'all can give me some tips about getting some in here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Julie and I were down here one weekend. It was during the summer, and when we left, normally you go out our gate and you turn left and you go up to the highway about 4 or 5 miles. Well, we took a right just to see what was out there, and the neighboring property back behind us we saw a flock of turkey. It had to be about 30 turkey in this flock.
Mm.
And I got them on video, and so I know there's turkey down here. We just got to draw them over here, and I don't know how to do that. Whether it's a food plot or what we need to do, but I'm excited about it. I want to get it going this year.
Yeah, I haven't done too much research, but I'm gonna get more in. I've been kind of obsessed with the deer the last 3 years. Like everything from surveying our land, paying goo money on these apps to look at topographical maps and try to map out our property and see where I think the deer are moving, where they're bedding down. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into deer hunting. Well, I mean, you can make a lot more going to deer hunting rather than just going and sitting in the woods over a pile of corn. But there is a lot more that goes into it if you want there to be. I feel like.
Yeah, James said a crow call will make them gobble. James, go to Heard That and look at one of her videos. I'm not sure which one it is, but we were at a what would you call that? That drive-through safari thing where we took Presley.
A drive-through safari.
Okay. Anyway, they had a cage and it had, I don't know, probably 15 turkeys.
Oh
in it.
yeah.
And I just did a moo like that, and they all gobbled.
Yep.
So yeah, they will gobble at anything that surprises them or is out of the ordinary.
I think Mom has a video of that on her
Yeah,
page.
she does. That's what I was saying.
I'm pretty sure.
Go to her page. Christine said our food plots are awesome for both deer and turkey. Oh, that's great, man. I love that.
We've been doing a lot of looking into starting some food plots. We were thinking about starting some food plots this year. It was just super. We're like what? We're technically Southwest Texas.
Yeah.
So
Southwest. We're right on the edge of the hill country.
Yeah. So it stays pretty dry out here normally. We've actually got some rain the last couple of weeks, which is good. There was some puddles in the road on the way down here. I was surprised, but the food plots kind of struggle out here. We're gonna try. We're gonna look into what grains do good with lower levels of water and see what we can come up with next year. But we've been doing pretty good on corn and on the protein. I think that's one of the reasons why these bucks have been getting as big as they've been getting is because we've been feeding protein going on our 3rd year now. Usually try to keep the protein as full as we can during the spring, whenever they're growing their racks. I get a lot of pictures of them eating in velvet and everything like that. I just think it helps with their development. One thing that I learned recently is that whenever you look on their, on their rack, if they have a bunch of little bumps, like around the bases and like around, you see some that are like super high on protein. They'll be bumpy or knotty all the way up. But the more bumps that they have around the base of their antlers is indication of their protein levels and the nutrition levels of the deer. I didn't know that till recently.
We got one. He got one on camera.
Oh, rings. Yeah, let me show you.
Show them that one. This I've never seen one like this.
Yeah, this one's one we call rings.
This deer has, I don't know if it's a genetic malformation or what, but he's got like 3 or 4 tines of antlers.
Yeah. It's his G1. It's his G1 and his G2 on both sides
that have like these rings.
Hence the name rings.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a good one where you can see it. Y'all see those bumps? See what we're talking about?
Yeah. They're right towards about maybe 2 or 3 inches from the tips.
It's on his G1s and G2s.
What would cause that? Does anybody know? Christine, you seem to be the resident expert. They do. They're into land management. They said they won't harvest any deer under 4 years old. Mature bucks with great genetics. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's what we're hoping to produce.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Definitely being more selective as the years go by.
Yeah. Bowen says he's never seen anything like that. I hadn't either.
Yeah.
It shocked us.
I saw it and I was like, "What is going on?" And then it hit me. His name is going to be Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got him on his G1, G2. He's actually got a kicker right there. I didn't notice that. So he's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's a 9 point.
Is that a kicker right there, or is that something behind him?
No, that's just the land. But see that kicker right there? See it?
Oh yeah.
So he's actually a
It's
9.
got a ring on that kicker too.
Yeah. So he's got rings all over. It's weird. But
she says, yeah, they have food plots during our droughts in Oklahoma. You feed protein and carbs at the right time.
right. For sure.
Lila said, yeah, my brother said that's a new rack. Shoot.
Yeah, he's a good one. He's not one of our hit listers this year. He's a legal buck. He's a nice buck. A lot of people would shoot him.
That's what I think too, James. It's got something to do with his nutrition. Now he's a new buck, like I said. We've never seen him before, so he's come over from somewhere else. So maybe once he starts feeding on the protein,
It'll level out next year.
maybe we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. This one, look, Dad, that's Happy. The one, remember
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
that whole front piece. So there was a buck last year that had broke off half of his rack, and I think he got and maybe like hit by a car or something because the whole front of his forehead was like skidded off, and it looked like he had like a big scab on his forehead.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks for coming in, Jerry. And if you do go bow hunt tomorrow, good luck.
Yeah, good luck for anybody that's going to hunt in the morning. We will be getting off here not too much longer. We got to get ready for bed. We'll go to another 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, we got about 13 minutes.
Yeah. But as far as hunting strategy, for us, I mean, I play the wind because I have 2 stands to choose from. I have my bow stand, which is really close. So it's kind of, it really depends on the wind. If I think it's a north wind, north, south. Yeah. If it's a north wind, I usually hunt my bow stand because the wind will be at my back. But if it's a south wind, I'll hunt my tree stand. So the wind will be, the wind will be coming at me. Opposite, flip that.
Presley is saying hi. Hi, baby.
Hi, boo boo. I love you.
Bowen Thunderstick says Sean might be right. Maybe during his antler growth period, he had a lot of protein and then moved on and didn't get that large protein hit, but his antlers kept growing. I think that's
That
got
could
a
be
lot
it.
to do with it.
Yeah.
I think you're right. There's something that changed in his diet that caused that. But no, Christine, we didn't get any sheds.
To be honest, we haven't been shed hunting.
We haven't.
Well, actually, we have one shed. Cameron found a shed. A little AB 3-point.
Yeah. Now he found a nice 4-point shed right out here in front of the house one year. He was young.
Yeah, I was probably like
But
7
we
or 8
still
years
got
old.
that.
Yeah, I still have that one. You still have that one.
She said he heard me. To all the channels here, please get Tristan's channel.
Thank you.
Shoot him out. Shout him out, please. He's a great young man, and his daughter is one day going to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would be something.
That would be
But
cool.
she is. I'm sorry, y'all. I keep coughing. I've got some chest congestion, and I'm hoping I can keep it together and stand tomorrow.
He ain't sick. He's just a little congested.
Yeah. No, I'm not sick.
But what time do you think you're gonna be
9:49.
in the stand in the morning?
I don't know, cause he was showing up. He was there this morning at 5:52.
So wait, does time change tonight?
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
Sunday. I think, is it Saturday night or Sunday night? I want to say it's Saturday night. They changed it to Saturday night some years ago because people were complaining about having to change and then get up an hour earlier on
for work.
those years. Yeah. That in the spring, because it's fall back, spring forward. Yeah, when the spring, when you move it up, you lose an hour. So we'll gain an hour. But I think it is Saturday. Yeah, Justin said it's Saturday night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the years past, I have changed my feeder times to coincide with the daylight savings time, and that was the stupidest thing I could have done. Because deer don't tell time. They come at the same time when that feeder goes off. They're there, 10 minutes after. So we're not doing that this year. I'm leaving mine just like they are because they're gonna keep coming. So
I was about to look at something. I was about to look at the see what time the sun comes up in the morning.
yes, 2 a.m. Tony said, or Angie said when they changed the time.
Okay.
Saturday.
So yeah, sunrise is 7:51.
Okay, so 7:21 is legal shooting.
Right. And my feeder goes off at 7:30.
Yeah. So does mine go off at 7 or 7:30?
It should be 7:30.
Yeah, I think it's 7:30. But anyway, he was there this morning at 5:52. So I'm thinking I need to get there probably like 5:15, something like that.
Okay.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I was gonna say, I usually try to get in my stand. I try to give it at least an hour to an hour 15 before legal time. I want to give the woods plenty of time for everything to calm down. I don't want to come in there like 30 minutes before daylight. A lot of times I'll have deer there even before daylight. Like, Dad, that buck's been at his at 5:30, 5:45 in the morning.
Christine says, have a good evening. Good luck in the morning. Watch the wind and the moon phase. Christine's tip of the day. Thank you, Christine.
Thanks,
we
Christine.
appreciate that. We'll take any tips we can get.
Thanks for joining. I appreciate it.
One more thing. Is your deer in the rut? It's just now starting.
Yeah, so we have, through pictures, we have put together that it either has just started or it's it just had started. I've got multiple pictures of like a doe walking by my feeder, or running by my feeder, and then 2 minutes later, a buck will be going the same direction with his nose straight to the ground. So they're chasing as far as I can see. I'll have pictures of 3 or 4 doe at my feeder eating, and then they'll all look off in one direction because that buck's walking in. And then as soon as I get a picture of the buck in like the corner of the picture, the doe will be running out of the picture. So they're chasing right now.
Good night, Karen Breast. Thank you for coming in. We really appreciate it. Thunderstick said, what sort of broadheads are you using, or are you gun hunting? Tomorrow morning is the opening morning of gun season. So
not gonna
bow
lie.
season's over, gun season is here, and that's my thing. That's both of our things. But yeah, we're happy to see gun season.
Yeah,
I like bow hunting, but gun, I'm a lot more accurate with a gun.
Yeah, I hung up the bow. I'm gonna try again with the bow next year, but I hung up the bow for this year. I'm just gonna stick to the old trusty 270.
Hello, Lynn Okie.
Hey, Lynn.
Thanks for coming in. We're about to hit 2, taking JB home Saturday. We about hit 2, taking JB home on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're running around.
Let me tell you a quick story. We took my daughter and a friend of hers years ago. I think they were like 12, and she's 36 now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been some years ago. Anyway, we took them on vacation to Colorado. We rented, what was it? A Ford. It was the big one, the Expedition. Ford Expedition. We're going through New Mexico, Cuba, New Mexico, and I remember it specifically. We're up in the mountains, windy roads, and I'm doing about 55, 60. They're all asleep. It's right at sunrise. And I spot 2 doe out of the corner of my eye coming up this ravine onto the road. So I shake Julie and I wake her. I said, y'all, look at that. And before I could get that out of my mouth, boom, I hit it. And
I feel like I remember seeing a picture of this. Like the front end.
Well, the funny thing is, I got these ads popping up. When we got to, I don't know what causes that. Yeah, I know, but see, it's still. So it was a rental from Enterprise. Go to chat here. There you It was a rental from Enterprise. So I called Enterprise and they said, no, we don't have anything in the area. Is it still drivable? And I said, yeah, it's still drivable, but you know, it looks like hammered, you know what. They said, well, you're just going to have to drive it and, you know, move on. So we did. We went the rest of the vacation with a wrecked vehicle. But the funny thing is that when we got back to turn it in, this was in Terrell, Texas. We got back to turn it in, and the guy met me at the door because he saw me pull in. He goes, you are not going to believe this. He said, where did y'all go? And I said, well, we were going to Colorado, but we were in New Mexico when we hit the deer. And he said, that is the weirdest thing. He said, this truck has only been rented out 2 other times, and the first time somebody hit a deer in New Mexico. I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't want anything more to do with this vehicle. Get it out of my sight. I'm done. So,
That was pretty funny.
Okay, Lila says she's having a migraine. You can't see very well. Well, thanks for coming in, Lila.
Thanks,
Go get
Lila.
some rest. Take you some Excedrin migraine. That works for me.
Yeah.
I hate migraines with a passion.
Yeah, they're the worst.
But thanks for moderating for us, and we appreciate it. So we'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, guys, and I've been debating. I may or may not do a live while in the stand. The only thing about that is I won't be able to answer any questions. But if you want to come in and watch some deer on live camera, you can. I may or may not do it. If you see a live and it's just a random live, that's what it is. It's probably me in the stand and I'm just kind of messing around seeing. I don't know if I want to do like a whole video, like make a video, or if I just want to do a little bit of live and a video. We'll see. But if I do, I'll be live from the stand.
Nina's mad at you because she says, Taco Casa? Really? I always ask you to get Taco Casa and y'all got some without me. Not y'all. I didn't get it. It was him. I haven't even eaten yet. But I got some homemade cowboy stew that I'm fixing to heat up. Get me a bowl of that, and then I'm headed to bed. So, all right. Well, it's 9:58, so we probably ought to start saying our goodbyes.
Thank you, everybody, for coming in.
Yeah, man, we really appreciate it. And like I said, we'll start making this a tradition.
Yeah, yearly tradition.
I think we should do it every hunt that we come on.
Yeah, I mean, we might do. Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a good deal.
And who knows, if we both tag out this weekend, we might do a little live and do a little showing off.
Thank you, Justin. Good to see you too. Appreciate you coming in and appreciate you shouting us out too.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate you.
And thanks for your help on the moderator situation.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bowen. It was good talking to you too. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the morning.
Yeah. Anybody else going hunting tomorrow? Good luck. Hope everybody gets a tag out. If not,
Mom
still got the rest of the season.
Mom says, love y'all very much and good luck tomorrow. We love you too.
Love you, Mom.
I'll call you here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Before you go to bed. Good night, Presley. Love
Good
you,
night,
baby.
boo-boo. I love you. Go sleep. Listen to your mommy.
Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Lynn. Everybody's saying good luck.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. Now, our next hunt will be Thanksgiving weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll try and do a live. Julie will be down here. Is Nina coming that weekend?
I don't know. It's either going to be Nina May. It's either going to be Nina and Presley, or maybe Travis, or maybe we're going to have some guests. One of the two.
Yeah.
Maybe Cameron. I don't know yet.
Yeah. But we'll do another live that night.
Yep.
Probably Friday night. Thanksgiving's Thursday, so Julie and I will be down on Friday morning. So we'll do a live Friday night after Backroads Freedom. I don't want to step on his toes.
Yeah.
He's such a good help. So, but anyway, thank y'all all for coming in, and
thank you for
we'll
the
let you know
likes.
what happens.
For sure.
So-
Yeah. And if you see a random live, it may or may not be me in the stand, but we're definitely gonna get some videos, get some good footage. hopefully get some good kill shots on camera. It'd be cool. So look forward to that coming out. And yeah, thank you all. Good night. Good luck to everybody else. Appreciate the likes and the
Good luck to
follows.
everybody that's hunting this weekend.
Yep.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Y'all take care.